Have you seen the news recently? Job, job loss everywhere. You know, here and there, everywhere you look, there's everybody cutting job. Now, what I keep saying to people, that this job cut would have happened regardless of the COVID-19. And people were like, what do you mean? The issue is that a lot of organizations are already going through what they call digital transformation. And that process will lead to them automating their system. And when they automate their system, if your job is repetitive, because they're spending so much of money to automate those systems, and computers are more, they work more perfectly than human beings. Computers don't need, they don't need to go to work, they don't need to go to on holiday, and they don't need to be paying their salary every single month. It's gonna save them money at the long run. So they are automating all these systems, and that process, that means that the effect of that is that in the next couple of years, a lot of people will lose their job unless you work in certain field or unless your job is non-repetitive. And you see a lot of crimes going on right now. And I wonder if this crime rate will not increase. The knife crime within the United Kingdom is more than, is over 1,000 in the last 2 years. Just the report rate as well, because there's young people could not find job, and that's one of the reasons that they're making. Look, they're saying, look, there's no job, there's nothing to do out there. They go into crime, into drugs, and these things are terrible for the future. Now, I feel that we all have a duty of care. And in this review today, obviously, I will be sharing how, people can take advantage of an alternative ways into getting job quicker, and then solving this problem of joblessness. Now, guys, if you don't know, and if this is the first time you're watching my channel, this channel, like I said, is all about photography, it's all about business education, and it's all about tech. I am a photographer, firstly, but beyond that, I also do other things apart from photography. And in today's review, I will be talking about the apprenticeship and the university, and why the apprenticeship is the future. And we need change. We need a change now. If you want to see all those things that I will be talking about, hit me at the other side of the intro. Hello, people. Welcome back. Right. If this is the first time you're watching this review, my channel, and this channel is all about business education, it's all about photography and video, and it's all about tech. These are the area that I constantly do review. Okay, so, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, share and like. Okay, let's get into the thick of things. So as the topic suggests, the title suggests today, which is the apprenticeship and the university. So I will be talking about that, and also that in relation to helping people to get out of their joblessness and finding an alternative way even to find jobs. Like I have said earlier on, people losing their job is not just down to the COVID-19. It is a process that will have taken place whether COVID-19 exists or not. For instance, a lot of companies are already going through the process of digital transformation. Now, digital transformation takes time. What does that mean? That is when organizations are going through this process of automating every part of the organization or a particular part of their organization. For instance, you see places like, even restaurant right now, they are automating their system. Banks, I'll use bank, they're automating their system in terms of, you now see machines now replacing cashiers. Instead of cashiers sitting down there, I went to my bank the other day, I saw 4 machines inside, and only one person. No need of cashiers again. The machine can collect money, count your money, save your money into your account, and you do everything within 4, 3, 5 minutes. When there was a cashier there, it takes 7 to 15 minutes. Sometimes you'll be queuing up for hours, right? But with the machines, things are quicker and things are faster. And what that means, the impact of that is that people will lose their job. If your job is repetitive, think about it, if your job is repetitive, people will lose their job. Although people that have contact, their job is contact, like doctors, I think for now, I mean, those jobs cannot be replaced. But if your job is not, it doesn't involve contact, direct contact, but it can be, automated and it's not repetitive, obviously companies will automate them. Right. So what are the major differences between universities and the apprenticeship program? Before I talk about that, let me first of all say you need to understand why you need to listen to me. Obviously, the fact is that I can just go on and be talking and talking, but I say to people, first of all, the person that is talking to you, you need to understand who they are. So for me as a person, obviously, as you guys have seen in my previous review, which I shared not too long ago, which I talked from pain to victory, where I shared how I finished my PhD and I do all that. So in totality, I've spent a lot of years in the university environment. With my PhD, I spent a lot of years as well. Which obviously that video, I'll still be talking about the part 2, where I'm going to talk about how I even got there and things that happened within those 10-year period, where I was on my about 8 years where I was on my PhD program. But also, I have worked in the apprenticeship program for a number of years right now, and I've helped more than 100 people to gain qualification in different fields. This span from digital marketing to data analysis, data scientists, and what have you. So these are my core areas. But within the apprenticeship program, there are also varieties of programs. So first of all, who is an apprentice, or what is the apprenticeship program all about? The apprenticeship program is just a situation whereby someone is working and is earning money at the same time. You don't have to be a university graduate to be an apprentice, and you can be a university graduate and be an apprentice. So there's no restriction. Who is the apprenticeship program for? It's for people between the age of 16 and above. I have managed people who are between 17 and 18, and I've managed people who are over 50, for instance. So the apprenticeship program is meant for most people, unless you are less than 16. Now, how is this program funded? This program is funded by your organization in conjunction with the government. In other words, it's taxpayers' money. How long does the apprenticeship program last? Most of the courses last for between 18 and 14 months, depending. The next question is, what are the programs that is available on the apprenticeship program? Several. In fact, there are loads. From engineering to fashion to IT courses to digital marketing to data analysis to business analysis to HR. You can think about it in different fields. Farming. There's a loads of apprenticeship program out there. So all you need to look for is what you actually want to do. Now, the next question is, how do you even get this opportunity? So there are a lot of apprenticeship provider, and also there is a link I'll be sharing below in this in the description below that you guys can click on, which is a government site whereby you can go on and even access all this information I'm relaying to you. Now, the first thing is that people have different misconceptions about apprenticeship program. People feel like, oh, the apprenticeship program is not, they just feel like the society make you feel like, oh, they don't have, it's meant for some certain people who did not go to university. No, the apprenticeship program is meant for people in the university who just coming out of university and people who did not even go out of university. For instance, I've managed several learners who have never been to university. They now work for multinational companies like Google, like even what they call property companies, even more other multinational companies, NHS, and now these people not only retain their jobs, but they're also managing people right now. There's nothing worse than you finishing your university and being home for years, still sitting in your mom's home, not working, not getting the kind of job you want. Now, how do I compare the apprenticeship to the university? People will say, oh, you're insane. University is the king, is the these. But hey, guys, first of all, let's start by the comparison. First of all, university, you need, in most countries, even with like the United Kingdom, you need to pay your loan back. You need to borrow some level of money and you need to pay those money back. A lot of people are struggling. If you don't have a job, you cannot even pay the loan back. And when you start working, you need to start paying back a loan if you're earning a certain amount of money. And some people have been paying this loan back for the rest of their lives. They become a slave to this loan. Whereas in the apprenticeship program, you are not paying anything back. This is funded by taxpayers' money, but it's through the organization's money that they are made. Technically, this is the money that should have been given back to the government, but instead of them giving back to the government, they are using that money to sponsor people to go on the apprenticeship program so that those people could be useful for them. They are providing jobs for people so that people can work for them, but also so the people are benefiting. They're taking people from being jobless to working. So the government is happy to say, look, you take someone out of that joblessness and provide them a job. We don't mind you, putting this money to sponsor them to go for the apprenticeship program. But whereas in the university, you come out of the university, you are looking for a job. Whereas in the apprenticeship program, once you get your job, right, the company is going to employ you and they're going to fund your apprenticeship program. In the university, you pay for your university. After paying for it, you have to look for a job for yourself. If you don't get a job, you are on your own. So also with the apprenticeship program, it creates a career path in such a way that you're not only retained within the organization. If you still want to move from that organization to probably another organization, find another good job somewhere, you can move within this is a secure way of you creating a job for yourself. Now, the other part is that the apprenticeship program will not only make you an expert in an area, you're also gaining certifications and you're going through some rigorous training. And with the way the apprenticeship program works, you're working, but there will be time that's allocated for you that you don't have to work, but focus on your apprenticeship program to be able to do it. It is all well planned out. I'm not saying it's a perfect system all in all, but it's a system that at least works. And I have had several testimony, and I have seen people through this program, and these people get quicker jobs. So many of them, they get jobs, they retain their jobs, and they move them. Whereby somebody's out of university looking for jobs. So in so many ways, the apprenticeship program will benefit a lot of people. And a lot of people, there's a lot of crime going on in everywhere, not just in the United Kingdom, everywhere, on all the countries of the world. If more of these younger people can be engaged into this apprenticeship program, and if they understand that this opportunity is available for them to explore. So that is why I feel I have a care of duty to kind of bring out this information to a lot of people out there. Maybe you are watching this review and you think, listen, I've heard about it before, I know already about it, but there'll be somebody out there that needs this kind of review and they can take care of this opportunity. Like I said, I'll be putting a link below in the description below so that you guys can access this information on there. There are a lot of apprenticeship providers out there that they are gonna not only help you to contact clients that are looking for apprentice, but they'll also help you to get a job placement. So while you're going through that link, you'll be able to find all these providers there, right? Also, if you want more consultation and you want to speak to me one-to-one, I can book, between 30 minutes to 1 hour for you guys. Any of you guys to have that consultation for us to talk around the apprenticeship program. If you have younger ones or you have elderly ones that are struggling for a job right now, the apprenticeship program is something that you can start to look into. You don't have to pay a dime. All the part that you have to do is to get a provider or get an organization that is looking for apprenticeship, apply for it, get the apprenticeship, and then there you go. I can tell you guys that you guys might say, oh, it's not that straightforward. But I have seen a lot of people. It's that straightforward for a lot of people. Why don't you try it first? So for me as a person, in rounding up those whole segment, the fact is that I believe the apprenticeship is the way to go in this time and age. Why? Listen, I've been through the university. But the whole point is, why would you spend a whole year, spending 5, 6, 7 years or whatever you're spending in university, and you're not even guaranteed that you're going to get a job? Whereas you go for the apprenticeship program, within 14 months, for instance, let me give you guys an example. In the data analysis, you're going to get 2 certifications, right? One is called the BCS, the concept of data analytics. The second one is Dell. A Dell certification is recognized worldwide. It's from Dell, and it's like a certification that will certify you not as a data scientist, not as a data analyst alone, but also as a data scientist. So you're getting 2 in 1 package, and all this is completed within 18 months. And within that 18 months, some of you will be worried that, oh, that will be too much. I'll be doing work and I'll be doing it. No, like I've said earlier on, the way it is done, the organization is going to sign a contract that will allow them to allocate time for you to be able to focus on it. And when you go for your training, you are not meant to work. You go for your training. Your organization will allow you to go for your training. Your training will be scheduled for some weeks. They will let you know ahead of time. You know when the trainings are taken. And you do your exam after a few months after you complete your training. But also you'll be doing what they call, you'll be doing project, you'll be writing project based on what you're learning at work, demonstrating that you can do one part, you can do this technical, we call them technical competencies, you can do these competencies. For instance, you want to demonstrate that you can manipulate data. This is, you'll be learning them with an expert within the organization environment. And once you're learning them, what they ask you to do is also be putting them in a form of writing to tell them your story, how you were able to do all these things, and you will get your certification at the end of the program. You go through what they call the endpoints assessment, and you're going to go through an interview, which mostly lasts for between 15 to 30 minutes, but it's on Skype as well. And you're going to do those interview, which is not a bad interview at all, because the interview is all about wrong and right. It's all about showing your process and explaining why you've done something. Even if you go through a process, you adopt a particular approach, and that approach did not get you the right answer, as long as you can explain the reason why you've taken that approach. So it's not all about right or wrong or you failed. It's about you explaining why you've taken a certain approach. I believe most people out there should start looking into the apprenticeship program and start upskilling yourself in the IT area. In one of my next review, what I will be talking about is which are the area that you guys can concentrate on, and also how can you guys improve yourself to be able to get even all these jobs, these new jobs coming out here and there. That is what I'll be talking about in I'm not sure what is going to be my review or my review to come soon. Guys, that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. That's my review for today. Giving you guys the information between the university and apprenticeship, and why I believe the apprenticeship is the way to go now. Whether you have finished your university or you've not been to university, you can go, go into the apprenticeship program, and you're gonna gain a lot. And I believe you're gonna get job quicker that way, and you don't have any debt hanging over your head. You're earning as you're learning. I think it's just a good all-round option. Guys, that's my review today. Keep safe, and until next week, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.